Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's joining us today. My name is Katrina from Katrina's Creative Heart. We are officially live here on Facebook as well as YouTube for anyone that wants to join us over there. We are live there for those that get better reception. All right, we are officially live. I'm just going to share with our groups real quickly. So let's see, we want the VIP, of course, and our team. Okay, so we are now all shared in all the places. So everybody should be able to find us. Real quick housekeeping before we go ahead and get started. We are in the November subscription period. We have until November 10th to get in on the Paper Pumpkin Filled with Joy. That is a Christmas themed kit. It will make 8 stockings and 8 tags. You'll have pre-cut paper pieces. You'll receive some safety pins and specialty gold foil. The coordinating colors will be Flirty Flamingo, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, Shaded Spruce, and Very Vanilla. And the ink spot will be Poppy Parade. All right, if you are joining, please make sure you say hello so I know you're here. I love to know who's joining us. With this paper pumpkin, we do have the add-on coordinating dies, the Merry Tags and more, that are still currently available, and they do coordinate with the entire quarter's worth of kits. So if that is something that interests you, please let me know and we'll help you get hooked up. All right. So today is our, hey Paulette, is our November card class. You can either attend tomorrow at the Williamstown Library to do the class live with me, or you can place a $35 order and I will send you these card kits in the mail. Of course, you would have to use your own stamps and ink, but I would send you the card kits for the virtual class. So these are the cards we are making tonight. These are the Merry Christmas. We have our snow-covered trees here, and I want to show you how we did that. And then, of course, we have our fun fold using the Shepherd Care stamp set, and that's a little fun fold. If you are on my mailing list, you did get instructions for this card. We just changed it up a bit, changed our colors, changed our stamp set, but I did want you to see that there's lots of ways to use this easel fold card. It's not just a one. And then, of course, we have our Christmas Sweetest Star with the snowman here. We have May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. And that's just a fun, quick and simple card that we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to start with card number 1. Excuse me. Let me find what I did with my card kits here. Oh my goodness. Okay, here it is. All right, so we start with a thick basic white. Hey, Arlene. Hey, Sherry. Hello, Miss Sue. So glad you all could join. All right, so this is a thick basic white card base. It's 4 1/4 by 11. Just going to grab our bone folder here, and we're going to fold that on our score line. And press that out. Then I have a piece of the two-toned cardstock, which is like a garden green, and then there's the lighter color on the back side. So it is a two-tone. It has the white core. And we are going to go ahead and we're going to emboss that with our, I think it's the painted trees is what this is called. Oh, I didn't bring the cover over. But it's the one we used last week, but it's got the 3 trees here. We're just going to emboss 2 of those trees into our paper. So we're just going to line that up like so. Let's get that up there a little bit. I want to make sure I get the top of our tree. Let's get it straight. Okay, there we go. Now we have our tree. I'm going to run this through the Big Boss. It is a 3D embossing folder, so you do need the specialty plate number 3 or 4. It's actually number 4 is the number on this one. And we're just going to run that through. And there we have our pretty tree. Okay, so now you just need some sandpaper, like a light grit, or a nail file will do. And we're just going to hit the just around the tops. And you'll notice a little bit of the white core is coming through just from doing the embossing. But we're going to go through and bring out a little bit more of that white. And that's going to make our trees appear to have a little bit of snow cover on them. You want to get out there on those edges. And then same thing on tree number 2. Oh, hey, sis. All right, let's see. I think that looks pretty good. We don't want a blizzard. We just want a little snow cover. There we go. That looks good. And then we're going to take our adhesive. This card is a really quick and simple card. It doesn't take long at all to do this one here. I'm just going to go ahead, center that onto our card base. I wish they still had them too, Arlene. It is a handy little thing to have for sure. All right, I went ahead and die cut this out ahead of time. This is a little label, and this comes from, I'll tell you the name of the dies. If I brought them over. They're the Christmas labels. There they are. And you get 4 labels in this particular die set. That's called the Christmas label dies. And we're using this one right here. And the sentiment that I am using lines up perfectly. This is Merry Christmas. And you get Merry Christmas to you. And they fit perfectly, line up perfectly in this die cut. Now, if you place a $35 order and I am sending this to you in the mail, you may want to, if you don't have this particular stamp set, which is the Christmas labels stamp set in dies, I'll have this die cut for you. You'll just need to use like individual stamps to try to make this work. Usually the photopolymers, though, you can definitely shape. So you'd be able to do a Christmas or any other photopolymer shaped word to put into your piece here. But you're definitely going to want the stamp set. Just saying. Or bundle for the dies, because these labels are really cool to go with the words. All right, just going to clean this off real quick. Take some dimensionals. And of course, I like 3. Okay, and then this is just going to set right over the top of our trees like so. And then we need, where did they go? I just saw them right there. Have these really nifty gold textured adhesive backed dots. And let's see, we're going to do a little one and a medium, and we can do another medium one down here. And that takes care of card number 1 right off. Okay. I just love that two-toned cardstock for that little technique right there. And I thought these trees were perfect for that. All right. Next up is our fun fold. It is an easel card. And we are using the Shepherd's Care. All right. So for this one, we also have a basic white. It's thick basic white. It's 11 by 4 1/4, and we scored it at 2, 4, and 5 1/2. Okay. So I'm going to fold at the 5 1/2. Then you're going to fold it back on the 4 and then back down on the 2. So that's how you get that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to seal this piece down. So that takes care of that. And then we have all kinds of parts and pieces. I have a little scrap for die cutting our sentiment label. I have 2 rectangles. One is real red and one is basic white from the deckled rectangles. And they're counting from the outside in. This is the number 3 and this is the number 4. Then I have just some strips here cut. I have 2 real red that are 4 by, I think it's 1 3/4. Yes, 1 3/4 by 4. And then I have 2 pieces that are 1 1/4 by 4. And then I have some of that beautiful, I think it's Peaceful Elegance Designer Series paper. These are 3 3/4 by 1 1/2 and 3 3/4 by 1. And there's 2 of each. So we're going to go ahead and layer all these together. So I'm going to take these and add to our layers. And all these measurements are the same measurements that went out in the email on the first with the Peaceful Elegance trees. The only thing that's changed is that as circles, we're using the deckled rectangles. And we changed up our colors and changed up our stamp set. All right. Go ahead and layer these ones now. And if you're not currently on my mailing list, you're not too late. You did miss week 1 of the Christmas Express, but you still have time to get the final 5 weeks because it's a 6-week program here that we're doing. So you still got 10 more projects coming. Okay. Next, got my little piece of white here that we've cut from our deckled rectangles. And I need my shepherd. And I have Memento Black ink here. I'm gonna ink him up. Okay, let's get him on there. There we go. There is our shepherd. I need that. I have here some blends for coloring him in. Let's see, we have Mossy Meadow for the grass. I have the medium for his face. Crumb Cake for his robe. And I'm mixing my blues. I have Balmy Blue Light and Boho Blue Dark for his headgear. I have the dark Real Red for around his little bands. And then I have Smoky Slate I ended up not using. Okay. So let's start with his face, because he's got just a little bit of face sticking out here. So we're just going to actually dot that in there, because he really doesn't have much of his face that actually sticks out. Then I'm going to take my Real Red, and again, I'm using the dark, and I'm just going to go here and do his band. And then this band here. This is the most time consuming of the cards because of the coloring. But again, it's not difficult by any means. All right. Then I'm going to take my Boho Blue Dark. And I'm just going to kind of like where the artist that created this beautiful stamp, just following their coloring guides, honestly. All right. And then I'll take the light balmy blue, which I got to replace mine here soon. It's not in the best of conditions, but it gets the job done. And we're just going to color. Blend that out just a little bit better. There we go. All right, next I'm going to do his gown or robe, whatever you want to call it. I got the dark crumb cake, and again, just like we did, following the artist's lead. And then come back with the light. And there we go. Now we're just going to do our grass. Got the light mossy meadow. Oh, I missed a couple parts of his robe. Gotta come back and grab. And then I got the dark let's get there we are. All right, he's all colored in now. So we can go ahead and layer him onto his real red layer. Oh, hey, Kay. Glad to see you. Join. No worries. I love the stamp set too. Definitely featuring all my favorites this week. Okay, so now we have that all put together. So now we're just going to go ahead and add our layers. And it's pretty easy to see. These go like so. So we're going to go ahead and add our adhesive. So that goes there. This one is going to go on this segment. Let's see if I can't. That's better. That goes there. This one, really? Okay, now this one we're going to put on dimensionals because we want this to pop up because this is what's going to hold our easel up when the card is opened. And I don't like to be stingy with my dimensionals. We're going to get generous with those because, again, we want this to hold our easel in position when the card is open. So we're just going to put that like so. So when the card fits in a normal envelope, but then when it's opened, it stands up. Then we can go ahead and add our adhesive onto the bottom portion. Of our card, and you want to make sure, I am out of Seal Plus. All right. Perfect timing, right? Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and add, looks pretty center, like so. So that stands up. Next, I have my scrap basic white, and I have my Peace on Earth, and we're going to use real red ink. There's Peace on Earth. Close that up. Clean this off. And we need, I'm using the Peaceful Seasons dies. This really cute banner. Let's see. So we're going to go ahead. Hopefully, I didn't. Well, gotta bring this down a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Well, I think I went too low. All right, we're gonna restamp that. I'll make sure I go high enough to capture. Let's go a little higher. There we go. That hopefully will be better. Yes, that's better. Okay. We're going to bring in the baby boss. It is beautiful paper, sis. One of my favorites. And it comes in this red. There's a peacock color blue, and then there's the green, and it's hard to pick out which one you want to use because they're all awesome. All right, so there's our Peace on Earth. And going to take a couple of dimensionals. And that is going to sit like so. So there you have it. Easy peasy. Easel card. All right. And like I said, totally folds flat. So it will fit in a normal envelope. It'll go through the mail just fine. And then the recipient gets it. You can write in all of your greetings to your recipient, your heartfelt message, and then they can display that on their mantle. So really sweet card. Okay, final card. This is our May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. And I know you've seen this set before, but it falls into my category of one of my favorites. So you get to see it again. All right. So for this card, we have another thick basic white card base. Only this one measures 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to fold it in half. Bring in that bone folder. Press that up nicely. Let me just clean the stamp off before I stick my hand in red ink. There we go. Okay. So for this, we have a garden green layer that measures 4 by 5.25. I have a basic white layer that measures 3 3/4 by 5. I have a scrap basic white for stamping our Santa. And then I did go ahead and already punch out using the Star Punch, my designer series paper. This designer series paper is the Take a Bow paper. And it's so cute. So we're using the polka dots. And we're just going to go ahead and put these on our paper after we stamp our sentiments. We want to make sure we get that in there first. And then that's going to kind of dictate how everything else is going to fall into line. So let's see, where is May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. I have garden green ink here. So we're going to ink that up. And we're going to go right in this bottom right corner here. Let's see. That looks good. May your days be merry and bright. And just as an FYI, this sentiment will fit inside a punched star. So if you wanted to actually punch your sentiment out, you could do that. Back in there before I lose you. There we go. Next, we have our little stars. And I don't have any Seal Plus over here, so we're going to use liquid glue. Just going to have to make do. So we're just going to add adhesive and it's okay to let it go off the edge. And we're going to do another one here. And that. Oop, and that one will go just like so. And we're going to let that dry for just a moment. Glue in places we didn't really need it. All right, so we're going to set that aside for a minute while that dries. And then we're going to bring in our scrap. And I have my Santa. And I have Memento. And he's going to stamp down like so. All right. Bring in our blends again. All righty. So I have the Wild Wheat Light. That is for his belt buckle. So we're just going to color that buckle in. Then I have the Basic Black Light. And that is for his mittens and his feet, boots, Santa boots, and his belt. So there's his belt. Then I have the Light 100, and that's for his little face. He's going to be kind of pinkish. And then I have the Real Red Light. We didn't get fancy with his coloring by any means. We're just coloring them in. Probably the hardest part about coloring him is getting around all of his little white whiskers. And it's just, you're just careful. Don't get too close to the edges because it is alcohol ink and it does tend to bleed. So if you get close but not right up to, the paper will just draw it in. All on its own. There we go. All right, Santa is colored in. He looks good. We're going to go ahead, get our star punch. And we're going to get him all lined up. Well, thank you, ladies. There is Santa. There's our scrap. Now we're going to get our snips and we're going to go ahead and trim off our overhang. So you just let your snips lean up against the card here, and those will snip right off. And now we have a nice layer. And let's see, just glue in here, I guess. Everything lined up nice. There we have it. And go ahead. A little more glue. Flattened out there. There we are. And then, of course, Santa, he's going to get himself a few dimensionals because we need to pop him up. And then he's just going to go right over there, just like so. And then these adorable real red and white adhesive backed peppermints. I'm not sure what these are made out of, but they almost feel like on the edges, they feel like an acrylic, but on the tops, they almost have like a rubbery feel, but they're flat and they fit perfectly with this card, I thought. So I'm going to put one there and then do a medium size over here. And we'll do one of the bigger ones. All right, there. And there you have it. So stinking cute. That's it. That's card number 3. Okay, so recap. Card number 3, our sweetest star. Card number 2 was our Shepherd's Care Fun Fold. And card number 1, our Snowy Trees. Well, thanks, Kay. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. All right. As I stated earlier, you can get this class in the mail as a virtual class by spending $35 in my online store using the current host code. I do have that in the description of this video. I think I put it in the description of the video. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't remember. I do. It's in there. So you have the host code right there. And again, it's a $35 order, and you will get the kits to make these cute cards. In the mail, you would just use your own inks and stamp sets. Oh, I'm sorry, Bill. I didn't realize there was so much jiggling. I apologize for that. I'll have to figure something out for that. But anyway, again, you can get the card kits in the mail for a $35 order. Or if you're local, we will be holding class at the Williamstown Library tomorrow at 6 p.m. I just need to know ahead of time so I can have your kits ready. So just reach out and let me know that you'd like to come, and I'll have a kit for you. Otherwise, have a great rest of your evening. I do appreciate each and every one of you for coming to hang out with me. And I wish you all the best week ahead. And I will, God willing, see you again next weekend with some more fun projects. Have a great night, guys. Bye for now.